Welcome back, Death Toll Racing. I'm working on my old, what do they call those, GMT400s? Is that what they are, GMT400s? Anyway, I always call them OBS, but now they're like extra OBS because there's like 3 body styles ahead of them now. Maybe 4, I don't know, I lost track. But anyway, 6.5 turbo diesel, manual glow plug controller. I'm going to show you how to do a simple way, a lot cheaper than using factory relay for it. And it's what I did, and it seems like it works really well. And it's fairly simple to do, but I'm just gonna do a summary. I actually filmed me doing it, but that's too long. So I'm just gonna give you the summary version. Actually, first, let's go take a look at the wire that feeds the power to your solenoid, which is gonna be this one. So this is your factory wire. It's red, and then it's blue. This blue part is basically your fuse. It's a fusible link. And the reason they use a fusible link instead of a fuse is because this will allow a lot of current for a while, but if your relay or something were to get stuck on, it would eventually melt, and it's kind of like a slow blow fuse, if that makes sense. But that's what they use on those. So if yours has melted or burned out, replace it with another fusible link. Don't just put a piece of wire in there. Anyway, fusible links they're there for a reason. There's no fuse other than that fusible link, so you definitely want that thing there, and you don't want to replace it with a fuse either because they work differently than a fuse. A fuse will take a spike and blow out, voltage spike and blow out, where that can handle voltage spikes, which happens a lot because you're essentially just shorting out with glow plugs. It can handle that spike and then just slowly blow out later. So it's kind of like a slow blow fuse, but anyway, they are different. They're not the same. But anyway, here's the relay. Link in the description below for that. But that's a 200 amp, 12 volt relay. They are numbered just like a 5-pin relay. So you got 85 and 86, your blade terminals here. And then you have 80, 87 and then 30, which are your lugs on this one. On this one, it would just be these two terminals there. This is a 4-pin, so it doesn't have the center pin like this one, but if it did, it would be an 87A, and it would actually be right there because they do offer this in a 5-pin, but you don't need the 5-pin, and I wouldn't buy it because it just makes it, well, 1, it's more expensive, and 2, you don't need it. It's just it just makes it more complicated. So essentially, all you do to hook this thing up over your factory, this is your factory connector, your factory relay, if that's what your relay looks like, then this would be the exact same, is you're going to put your button in, and you're going to power your button with positive, however you want to do it, ignition preferably, and then your button wire coming out of your button is going to go to 86. Okay, and then 85 is going to go to ground, and in my situation, I just used the ground that's going to the original one. So that's the black wire there. So that's now my coil side. So now when I push my button, this thing is going to go click, click, click. You'll hear it clicking, and that's physically making contact of those two lugs. So this is the original one. The other relays work the same way. So we make your 85 and 86 that you have hooked up down here are making a magnetic field, and it's literally just pushing this out, physically making contact, overpowering this spring, and then when you let off the button, that spring, there's no more magnetic field, and it just shoots back in, losing contact. So what happened with this relay is someone over-tightened these lugs. This is why they always tell you not to do that. And it actually was hitting plastic instead of the lug, so it wasn't actually connecting the two terminals. So it had me chasing my tail because it sounded like it was working, but it wasn't actually doing anything. So now that you have that done, you have your relay tripping. The rest of it's easy. You thought that was easy, the other one's easy. Now you just take your two terminals off of your original lugs and hook them on here. This one, which is 30, you'll want to hook to your battery side. And this 87, you'll want to hook to your glow plug side. Will it work if you hook them backwards? Yes. Will it work if you hook these backwards? Yes. It doesn't matter. But to stay consistent so that you're just like every factory car, try to do it that way. Battery power on 30, and then glow plug power on 87. And then on here, 85 is your ground, 86 is your switch. Simple as that. Now make it more complicated. Okay. What I did is I also, onto my 86, so hopefully, if that's all you want, you just want manual, then stop listening right now because this just might make it a little more confusing, even though it's also really simple. I chose to use my yellow wire going into the factory plug, and tie it in to the positive wire on this relay. Essentially making it so that relay would work off the factory computer trying to cycle the glow plugs. It didn't work that way. If it were that simple, why would they have all this circuitry on your factory relay? Something to do with water and fuel and all that stuff. I don't care to know because I don't like overly complicated things or dummy-proof things. I don't need it that way. But adding that yellow wire to my positive side of my coil, so the 86 side, what that did wasn't what I intended for it to do, but it ended up being kind of cool. I intended for it just to be able to cycle the glow plugs when it wanted to. It doesn't. But it has to have me authorize it, which is kind of cool. So if I turn my ignition on, no glow plugs, but if I hit my button, this is my glow plug button, it actually holds them on and then they'll turn off on their own. So when you get in, you can just hit that button. You can just hit the button and then put your seatbelt on, do whatever, get ready to go, and then the glow plugs will go off and you can start it. So anyway, it ended up being kind of cool, but use that at your own caution because I don't know how hard that is on the computer. Obviously, I'm either overloading the circuit or I'm misusing the circuit or something. If you know, 100% comment below so that I can pin it so that other people will know. But the result was cool, but it's not what I intended. And because it's not what I intended, it makes me wonder if I'm going to screw something up on it. So I'll be a guinea pig and try it for a while, and I'll let you know if something happens to it. But I think it's going to be okay. And I think if I do hurt something, it'll just blow out the glow plug side of the computer. But I don't think it's going to deem the computer unusable. It just won't have glow plugs anymore, which really, it doesn't matter. All I was really going for is just making it manual anyway. So hopefully that helps. Like, subscribe, share, and let me know what you think of this format instead of just watching me do it, which I think was totally pointless because that's what I filmed and that's what I was editing, and I decided to come down and do it this way. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.